Mark Phillips is in the building. What's going on, bro? Hope you're well. What's going on, Alex Van Fitness and Philosophy? I will answer that question in a second, brother. Life is good. Colin Hughes is in the building. How are you, brother? 416 Crypto is here. Hey, what is going on, crypto people? It is the Crypto Siege. With another day in the life, in the crazy life that is a digital asset space. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to each and every one of you. I'm excited for you. Why? Because you're an early adopter, my friends, in this new asset class that is the digital asset space. You and I, we're playing a game that 99.99% of the masses don't even know is being played. And we are winning, my friends. It's good to see each and every one of you. It's been a while since we've done a live stream. But I had to get on here and do a live stream after this recent news coming from Charles Hoskinson. That is frightening. Frightening, to say the least, if that is actually true. Frightening. What's going on in my face, man? Absolutely frightening stuff. The market, guys, is doing what the market does. We'll get into that as well. A couple of crypto gems to share with you guys also, man. So hopefully, I guess this is some kind of holiday weekend thing, yes? Memorial Day or something, I don't know. Something along those lines. There's something going on. But yeah, that was not great news coming from Charles Hoskinson. I got to tell you that. Like my whole freaking computer tabs, I must have 15 to 20 tabs on all this madness going on freaking Twitter right now. It's absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy what's going on Twitter. Man, it's been so long since I've done a live stream. I don't even know what I'm doing here. A lot of stuff going on for sure. The Reserve Bank of India is in the news. It's interesting. Of course, JP Morgan, you know, they like that just kind of talk their books. They like to just kind of talk stuff. We'll get into that. We'll get into a little bit of the SEC versus Ripple. Not much to report there. But I got to tell you, yeah, I had to get on here and talk a little bit about this news coming from Charles Hoskinson. I shared a video clip of him the other day on the channel, but I think that was towards the beginning of the video. But boy, oh boy, he sure ended that video with some craziness, right? That was some absolute crazy freakingness right there. Like, I'm just like, what in the world? And shout out to John Deaton and the people at Crypto Law US. It's so very important that if you can take the time, I'm going to share it on the live stream. You can take the time to retweet that video exposing the ETH gate and what went on and took place with William Hinman. It's important, I think, to get that out, right? Really, really important, because it was a move it's no doubt about it any longer. That was a move to create a monopoly for Ethereum and anything, obviously, that would ICO on Ethereum, et cetera, et cetera. Not great news. And then we hear this nastiness from Charles Hoskinson about people from the Bitcoin camp. That's a sad, sad thing. I don't know. That's a sad, sad thing. I got to tell you. What's going on, Johnny K? Is that Johnny? What do you think about the Spark token? Love the Spark token. Love what Flare Networks is doing. Can't wait for it to launch. Hopefully that date will be the 4th of July. Got to tell you, shame on these people. Shame on all these people trying to put a cloud over Celsius Network. Alex Mashinsky and his wife. What the wide world? Terrible. Man, people soon they forget real quick, man. When everything's great, everything's great. Like my friend says, when everything good, oh, he says everything is good until it isn't. And boy, oh boy, did they go after Celsius Network, man. Wow. She loves your American accent. Oh. Hey, Siege, can you give a big shout out to Sally Hargreaves for me, bro? Well, shout out to you, Sally. How are you? Hope you're doing well. It's always great to hear from the ladies of crypto. So big shout out to Sally, right? Yeah, but they went after big time Celsius Network, man. That's just not great. I'm talking about the FUD and stuff like that. People forget, they forget the tens of thousands of millions of dollars that they save in fees. The Celsius Network has been saving people in fees. They forget about Celsius Network actually recovering over $50 million in lost crypto for their platform holders. 50 million. They forget about that, man. That's to look, no one was happy with the liquidations and no one was happy with the events that took place. Obviously, no one's excited about seeing their token go from whatever $6 to 50 cents. No one's excited about that, but that's the market. That's not Alex Mashinsky and Celsius. You chose to take that dirty, nasty fiat and put it in the sell token, and you chose to do a leverage loan. It's on you. No one likes liquidation. That's not cool. It's not a great feeling, but hopefully it's a learning lesson. But to go after Alex, oh my goodness. First of all, it's just money. And I get that some people lost life savings in these liquidations. And I mean, with Luna, a lot of people lost life savings. Yeah, those are tough things to go through for sure. Oh, you're welcome, Colin. Thank you for being here, my friend. I appreciate that. Those are tough things to go to before. But if we don't take ownership, we'll never learn. We got hit as well. But we got to take ownership and say, what do we learn? What do we learn? One of the things that we learned in the Crypto Caesar's home is, number one, better to pay down a loan as opposed to adding more liquidity. Number two, it's better to take a loan against your assets if the asset is a stable coin as opposed to a regular crypto. The challenge with the regular crypto loan is that when you're trying to meet liquidity, that with the asset, let's say you borrowed XLM, for example, and you got some money for XLM that you leveraged against. Well, if you try to add more liquidity with XLM and the market's tanking and crashing, you're adding less liquidity. So it's better to pay down the loan, put down $500 or $1,000 towards paying down the loan. So if you had a $10,000 loan, now it's $1,000, it's $9,000. That works better than trying to add liquidity. Lesson learned. But in no way, shape, form, or fashion am I going to blame Celsius and Celsius Network. How am I going to get better if I'm going around blaming? Come on, man. That's madness. Madness in all sense of the words. For sure. Did I miss anyone coming in? I don't think I did. Let's get over into this market, man, because the market is just crazy right now. I know I've mentioned on a couple of videos that we've gone to de-risking and risk off, and taking cash flow in gold and taking cash flow into stables and taking cash flow into dirty nasty fiat. We'll keep it in the dirty nasty fiat and put it in places where we can take advantage of our dividend paying cash value policies, that type of stuff. Risk off, because this market is in a very precarious situation or position, and no one knows where it's going. Brian Keegan is in the freaking building. How are you? Nice to see you again, brother. Appreciate you checking in. Guys, do me a favor, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't had a chance to do so yet. For some reason, this channel has gone into some kind of hole. that every time it gets to 7,700 subscribers or something along those lines, this has happened several times, it goes down into losing subscribers for some reason. I don't know why, but it does. But you certainly can't compare, if you compare the view time and the views and the number of videos, it should be well into, 16, 18 subscribers, 16, 18,000 subscribers. I don't know what is going on. It is a crazy thing, but it's odd to see your subscriber count going down. It gets to a certain point, then it'll just go down 100 subscribers or 200 subscribers. Like it won't get over the 7,600, 7,700. It's a very, 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 very strange thing to see for sure. So we're going to try to fix it by hitting the like button, hitting the subscribe button, and figuring out this whole YouTube algorithm thing. So guys, let's get into this, the numbers on CoinGecko on this market, because the market, again, is just doing what the market does. And it is really, 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 really crazy. I want to do that. I want to do this. Let's do that. This is going to CoinGecko. I'll refresh it here. But this is according to CoinGecko. The Bitcoin dominance, just less than 43.7% for the Bitcoin dominance, just not a great number. The total cryptocurrency market cap is 1.26 trillion. Bitcoin is at $28,912 again. Ethereum is at $1,776 again. XRP is at 38.4 cents again. Double figure reds in the market on the 7-day again for 90% of the digital assets. It's crazy, crazy, crazy. So if you see a few greens, but again, the total cryptocurrency market cap at one time, guys, was 3 trillion, and it's at 1.26 trillion. I think this is very, very interesting here. What Stefan Huber is saying. Jet McCaleb has sold more XRP since the SEC filed a lawsuit than they charged for Ripple for since 2012. So he has sold more of his XRP than Ripple did from 2012. And nothing is going on with Jet McCaleb. I find that to be fascinating. Doesn't seem to be a problem. What a farce this lawsuit is. I'm going to share this because I think it's always important to remind ourselves what really, really happened with William Hinman and Consensus, Ethereum, JP Morgan, Joseph Lubin. All of that is just scary. And I think it's really important to remind ourselves so that we don't forget to connect to Congress on cryptolaw.us. Take a look at this video, guys. Unbelievable.
In 2017, when William Hinman was named Director of Corporation Finance at the SEC, he fought behind the scenes while in office to keep getting millions of dollars in payments from his old law firm, Simpson Thacher. Hinman was warned repeatedly that this meant if he did anything as a public official that affected Simpson Thacher, he'd be breaking the law. Simpson Thacher joined the enterprise Ethereum Alliance, a group with the sole mission to promote Ethereum, while paying Hinman millions. In 2018, Hinman gave a high-profile speech declaring that Ethereum's digital token, Ether, is not a security.
We believe current offers and sales of Ether are not securities transactions.
The price of Ether immediately took off.
That was after the comments by the SEC. So interesting market action there, right? Whoa.
Did William Hinman break the law? Federal rules say that even the appearance of a conflict is a serious violation by public officials. How did this happen? Why was Hinman allowed to promote Ether in a speech given his financial conflicts? And how did a speech involving so much of the SEC staff that was certain to move the crypto markets fail to be screened for conflicts that would have been found with a single Google search? The crypto markets are in turmoil, and investors don't feel protected. How can we have confidence in the SEC if conflicts of interest are left unchecked? It's time for an investigation. A watchdog organization, Empower Oversight, has sent a formal referral of evidence on Hinman to the SEC's Inspector General. Now they need to act. Only Congress has oversight on the SEC. Demand your lawmakers support an investigation. Connect to Congress today.
I mean, that is great stuff, guys. When you get some time, be sure to thank John Deaton for everything that he and his deal there, Crypto Law US, is doing. It is powerful, powerful, powerful. And trust me when I tell you, it's making a difference. When we keep growing those numbers, and I think he said 43,718 messages sent to Congress. I believe that was the number, 43,000. It's really, really important to understand that makes a big time difference. It really, really does. So don't let anyone tell you you're just this and you're just that. What you do is not going to make a difference. Don't buy into that. Do not buy into that. Collectively, each of us need all of us, and all of us need each of us, right, to participate in what's going on. So definitely go to John Deaton. Go to @CryptoLawUS on Twitter, @CryptoLawUS. The C is capitalized, the L is capitalized, the U is capital, right? @CryptoLawUS. Sign up. Go to Connect to Congress and tell them you do not like what's going on with the SEC and prior person William Hinman. You would like to ask respectfully for the SEC's and what is it called? The IG there. Inspector General at the SEC to lodge a formal investigation into it, because it's obvious, you feel that there's obvious corruption going on with it. Trust me, Congress will pay attention to that. At 43,000 people plus writing in about different concerns, you can write in about that concern that you would like an investigation by the Inspector General at the SEC to be done. What you do, what we do, guys, what we do matters. Don't let anyone tell you differently, guys. Don't let anyone tell you different. This is something that I thought was very interesting. It's important to understand the bigger picture. Linda P. Jones shared this. I hope you're doing well, Linda. White House says Russia will likely default on debt. Russia is being forced to default. The sanctions won't let them pay in dollars. This is the bigger picture. The sanctions won't let them pay in dollars, so they paid in rubles. They paid on time, but not in the right currency because they weren't allowed to. Linda B. Jones says, P. Jones, this is all planned. This is the bigger picture. This is how we get, I believe, to some type of financial reset. And again, I shared this from Andrew Lawton the other day. This is a guy from Alibaba, the president at Alibaba, talking about the what's going to happen with these CBDCs. And there's a reason why all these central banks are looking to push this CBDC, guys. I mean, there's a reason. Like there's an obvious reason why they're looking to push these CBDCs. And like my friend Simon says, it's going to be this war, if you will, this battle, if you will, for a marketplace between CBDCs and commercial banks. Take a listen to what he says here. It says, I'm going to read this. The Alibaba Group President J. Michael Evans boasts at the World Economic Forum about the development of an individual carbon footprint tracker to monitor what you buy, what you eat, and where and how you travel. Take a listen.
We're developing, through technology, an ability for consumers to measure their own carbon footprint. What does that mean? Where are they traveling? How are they traveling? What are they eating? What are they consuming?
Like, this is scary in the worst kind of way. And then my laptop's not going to let this explode on my internet. But he was think about this. They're going to be able to. They're going to use this phrase carbon footprint tracker. And that's going to be the narrative. I'm going to stop sharing here and go back. That's going to be the narrative kind of going forward, right? The WEF, the IMF, these central banks, that's going to be that little narrative that they'll try to push. It's a carbon footprint. What are you doing as an individual citizen? What are you doing as an individual citizen to address, to improve your carbon footprint? And if you buy into this CBDC thing, and if you buy into less choices for crypto, then they're going to be able to push more. This CBDC thing is the only thing you need. You don't need all cryptos, just use our CBDC, right? You don't need stable coins, just use our CBDC. And with this carbon footprint tracker, he says you can track what you can improve your carbon footprint by letting us know what you ate. When you travel, how did you travel? What did you eat? Where did you eat? How did you get to and fro? Not a great look. And I know we can get caught up because of CBDCs, because of what Ripple, the company, is doing. But do you want to use a CBDC? And what I'm saying is I want choices. Madame Lagarde is already going around talking about how crypto is worthless. Now, for someone who's at the head of a central bank, what does she think is valuable? CBDCs. So we have to be careful that, when we're trying to, like, there's the Bitcoin Maxis, and then there's these YouTubers who are constantly going at each other. Got the Bitcoin Maxis saying, all you need is Bitcoin. And you got these certain YouTubers who are trying to put down Bitcoin and the fact that Bitcoin is this and that Bitcoin is that. And all of it plays in, those two things play into the hands of central banks, the IMF and the WEF, World Bank as well. So no, okay, cool. We're going to get rid of all cryptos and you just use your CBDC. And I did I put a Twitter thread out, and I'm going to share that with you guys, because people are just really, truly missing the bigger picture. Like truly missing the bigger picture, my friends. What's going on, Martin 958? How are you, bro? Siege, your thoughts? Mark Fellows says, Siege, what's your thoughts on Terra Luna 2.0? Well, my thought is that Do Kwon is apparently, when they smoke their fire type deal. I read a thread the other day about a certain amount of wallets that were kind of tied to the TFL, Terra Foundation, or even the LFG, the Luna Foundation Guard. Well, these wallets were tied to Mirror Protocol, which we all believe that Mirror Protocol was a decentralized platform, blah, 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 blah. But there's strong evidence to point that there was a certain amount of wallets, 7 to 20 of these wallets, that were really from the same people from Terra Luna, not you and I, individual investors, but the higher ups, really kind of staging something on Mirror Protocol, that it wasn't really a decentralized thing, and all these other kind of stuff like that. That's just not a really great look. And I guess with Do Kwon's background, where there's smoke, there's fire, you just can't overlook it. A lot of people are going to do the new Luna because they believe there'll be a shot for them to get their money back. I'm beginning to, what happened to my thing here? I'm beginning to think personally, Mark, that the United States market is being taken advantage of. I'm beginning to think that. They know that it's such a big market. They know, so that would be us as individual retail investors. So I'm talking about the people from, I'm talking about Do Kwon and whoever his 5, 7, 8 buds are. I feel like they've taken advantage, not beginning, but they've taken advantage of the market in the US. So no different than someone willingly, knowingly doing a Ponzi scheme, or very little difference. That's what it's beginning to feel like. If we get more evidence of the whole mirror protocol thing, which was supposed to be a way for you to leverage, the regular stock market, right, with going long or short on normal stocks and blah, 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 blah. If we get the definitive word on that, it was, in fact, 7 to 10 wallets, creating fake wallets to make the mirror protocol, quote unquote, seem like it was decentralized, and that they were going around and kind of buying the mirror token on the low and down low, on the cheap and on the down low, and then selling it back to consumers, to retail investor. Like, that's just really, really nasty business. So that is the rumor on the street, Mark. And from a very, very reputable researcher in terms of being able to really dive in to gathering data on the blockchain and then deciphering that data and getting it out to the public. So I have not heard Terra or Do Kwon or the foundation debunk this particular person's theory on what happened. So that's kind of my 2 cents on that thing. Yeah, but she didn't say that. I know what you're saying, Mark, but she said crypto is worthless. She said, I want to be very, very clear that the ECB holds no crypto on their balance sheet. I just feel like it's hard for me to think that a central banker wants you and I to have more choices in terms of using other things other than their thing. So, but ultimately, let's say, for example, real world use case cryptos like XRP and XLM, and then you pick your one that you also know that has the real world use case to it. I don't trust. Well, let me put it to a different way. I don't believe for a second that the World Bank and the IMF and the ECB and the Federal Reserve are saying the negative things about Bitcoin because that is their concern. They're concerned about money laundering. And they're concerned about the energy. I don't believe that for a second. I think that they're threatened by what Bitcoin ultimately represents, which is an opportunity for you and I to be able to choose our own money, spend our own money the way that we want to spend it without having to get anyone's permission to do so. In other words, we get to choose our money as opposed to having their money rammed, stuffed down our throat, shoved down our throat. I find it fascinating. I mean, to be honest with you guys, I find it fascinating that El Salvador and what the other nations had this, they came together, 32 to 44 nations came together to discuss the use of Bitcoin and other cryptos. I find that to be very, very fascinating that the IMF and the World Bank are concerned about that. I really, really do. And I personally believe, I think they're talking about the fact that that gives a nation the opportunity to choose their money, right? Because let's face it, the world, the United States reserve currency allows the United States, the dollar being a reserve currency, it allows the United States to put their foot on the throats of other nations. That's what it allows. I mean, like 100%. That's what it allows. And you're right, Mark, the great thing about the digital asset that most of us have chosen is it don't matter CBDC, it don't matter other cryptos, right? For us, a bridge currency is it's the game changer, right? So if the central banks win the war and they get these CBDCs and they push out commercial banks, or they significantly down peg the role that commercial banks have, because the world is the way it is. Trust and the lack of trust is just a real thing, and that 100% plays into the favor of XRP and XLM and any other currency that can be used as a bridge currency. And I believe there's more than one. And I believe that obviously Ripple, the company Ripple with XRP and the XRP ledger, and all the moves done with ODL and other products has a significantly high advantage, without question. And so for XRP holders and XLM holders, and maybe even XDC, I guess, that's a huge advantage for us, because trust, or the lack thereof, is a big deal. Like, it's a big deal in the big boys world with governments and nations. And I don't know how many videos lately, Mark, I've seen people being interviewed, and they're talking about starting with one currency, using an asset to go into another currency. I don't remember ever seeing video after video after video consecutively, day after day after day, where the powers that be, even like Ray Dalio, I believe, said something like that. But the powers that be, more and more of them are saying, look, okay, CBDC is cool, but I don't want your stuff. I want my stuff on the other end. I want what I want. You can send me whatever you want. So that they're like really getting in their brain that you can send me whatever you want, but on the end, this is what I want. Tell me about the digital asset, blockchain technology that's going to allow me to do that. More and more of the powers that be are saying, cool, because it ain't something that I necessarily need to hold. It ain't something that I necessarily need to have on my balance books. It's permissionless. It's this, right? All the praises of the XRP ledger are going to come out. I mean, the bottom line, they're going to come out. So in terms of that check mark on a world, bridge currency, agnostic, no, that is XRP without question. Now, is it XLM as well? Probably. Is it XDC as well? Probably. So that works well for the XRP holder. But what about everybody else? What about everybody else that does not hold XRP? How are they going to win in this new asset class? Is this new asset class going to be limited only to XRP, XLM, and XDC? What if they say XRP is great as a bridge currency, but you can't do anything else with it? In fact, right? Can't spend it, can't trade it. Bridge currency, awesome. That's right. And Mark said it exactly. CBDCs they do not solve the counterparty risk issue or the pre-funding requirements. Only a trusted neutral asset like XRP does that with ODL, 1000%. Now, I don't know if you guys have heard of this setl.io. I looked it over. It's an interesting thing, Sierra Echo Tango Lima.io, but that is very, very true. My biggest concern is I do not want, and again, I don't know how as an XRP holder, what are we going to be allowed to in terms of being able to level up our lifestyle with XRP? I don't know. But I'm very, very afraid of the powers that be taking away choices. Like, what if I want to own Bitcoin? Because I do believe that Bitcoin is going to become the new digital gold or store of value. Like, what if I would rather hold Bitcoin than gold? Why would that choice be taken away from me? Why would that choice be taken away from me? But I do think one of the things that I think Brad Garlinghouse has got correct from day one, real world utility is going to be a thing. Like it is going to be a thing. It's going to be a thing. And if Bitcoin is only use case, like it's not winning the payments race, but the monetary policy that it brings is so important that I think we don't want to get away from it. You know, the only 21 million, you know, being able to choose your own money. Like a lot of people forget, you and I gave Bitcoin its value. Like, network adoption is a real deal. Like, some people put the technology ahead of network adoption, and I don't think that's smart to do. I think network adoption is the absolute of all absolutes. The individual retail person out there early in the early days of Bitcoin gave Bitcoin its value. And when it was supposed to go to zero, time and time again, it didn't, which means that we collectively believe it has value. And if we do, and if we want to walk away from being under the thumb, or having the banks have their foot on our necks, like, we need what Bitcoin represents. We need what Bitcoin brings to the table. With that being said, Bitcoin's monetary policy is separate from proof of work, right? Because here's why I say that. Because Spendabits exists with this asset, Bitcoin, right? The asset Bitcoin exists on Spendabits, right? Spendabits uses the XRP ledger, which means the monetary policy that Bitcoin brings can exist on the XRP ledger. So it's not about the proof of work, which we all know isn't necessary. It's not about Lightning Network and how slow it is or crappy it is or how ineffective it is. It's about the monetary policy. Again, you and I have decided that this Bitcoin has value. You and I. And we should be able to trade it amongst ourselves. And we should be able to spend it where we want to spend it. In other words, we should be able to choose our own money as opposed to letting them decide what is real money. Yep, you're 10,000% Mark Phillips. 10,000% correct. See, you say it in your closing. They don't want us to be rich. They want to stay rich and powerful and relevant as well. Projects that help them do that will survive. 10,000%. We can ride those to wealth, but most folks won't. And it's so disheartening, but that is the reality. Especially when you hear Charles Hoskinson say at the end of his update in DC video, where he says that he has, in good faith, the fact that Bitcoin maxis are going to Congress and telling them that the only thing they need is proof of work things like Bitcoin and get rid of all proof of stakes, or something like all you need is Bitcoin. That is the worst thing ever. And I know a lot of YouTubers have been reporting this fact that the Blockchain Association and digital chambers, blah, 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 right? They are not coming. Where were they when Ripple got this SEC thing? Didn't come to the forefront, did they? And now we're finding out more and more why. Because they were trying to push Bitcoin and or proof of work only and get rid. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? I know Digital Perspective, BK shared this video. I had the Hoskinson video up for something else. But can you imagine the truth in this? Can you imagine if this is true? Take a listen to it. Again, this is what they want. They want you and I warring with one another. In my opinion, to keep us distracted from what they're ultimately trying to do, which is to shove their money down our throats.
I really do want to close with one final point. I did discover that certain members of the Bitcoin community are actively telling lawmakers to write into legislation that everything but Bitcoin is a security, to write into legislation every attempt possible to delegitimize or outright ban proof-of-stake cryptocurrencies. This was extremely disappointing and disheartening. I like to believe in the fact that maximalism has gotten to the point where dirty tricks are being played and people are trying to convince politicians now to encode maximalist principles into US law is another example of just the fractious nature and the childish nature and the immature and irresponsible nature of some members of this industry.
Now, you guys heard that, but I didn't share it, so I want to share the video. Let me share. Get it together, Crypto Siege. Get it together, bro. All right, let's do this. It seems like when I share the having these issues with the video, as opposed to just playing it. But let's try it again.
I really do want to close with one final point. I did discover that certain members of the Bitcoin community are actively telling lawmakers to write into legislation that everything but Bitcoin is a security, to write into legislation every attempt possible to delegitimize or outright ban proof-of-stake cryptocurrencies. This was extremely disappointing and disheartening. I like to believe in the fact that maximalism has gotten to the point where dirty tricks are being played and people are trying to convince politicians now to encode maximalist principles into US law is another example of just the fractious nature and the childish nature and the immature and irresponsible nature of some members of this industry.
Childish, irresponsible, a lot of words there, right? A lot of words there. And I couldn't agree with him more, but that goes both ways. It goes to the alt maxis as well. That right? It goes to the altcoin maxis as well. right? GDLT was good, bro. Always appreciate the info and insights. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you being here, my friend. GDLT says sentiment can change very quickly on any crypto, 100%. And so can the narrative. At any point, the powers that be can run a narrative about any particular crypto, negatively. Anyone. I mean, if Bitcoin Maxis can run a narrative about XRP, you don't think the powers that be can pick something up like that and run some kind of narrative? They can. So I think it's just really important to pay attention to this whole CBDC thing and this whole notion of I want more choices. We say this on the channel all the time. I want more choices in the digital asset space, not less. And if I believe that Bitcoin can win, it has not won yet. But if I believe Bitcoin can win the store of value argument and can be the digital gold, and if the market is saying that, I don't want it taken away over something foolish, over some foolishness like Lightning Network, right? Network adoption is the key, right? For every Google, there is a Yah freaking who. Right? But boy, would I like the choice to get both Yahoo and both Google, to get them both. I want that choice. And I don't want it taken away because of inferior technology. Both of those could change your lifestyle. Both of those could level up your financial situation, both Google and Yahoo. Right? You know, Mark Phillips says, back on the SETL topic, they hired Margine Deltine, yes, sure did, from Ripple as a new head of payments, yep. SETL partnered with Citi, which moves more than 5 trillion daily, 100%. Yep. And so this whole space is a big space for sure. When it comes to cross-border payments as a whole, Ripple, I believe, is ahead of everyone without question. And that's great for us. Because again, XRP and the XRP ledger was created before the company Ripple, and XRP and the XRP ledger have real world use cases to it. Like the XRP ledger with this decentralized exchange is a monster. It can do so many different incredible things. It is without question. It is without question a no-brainer in terms of its use case. XLM has a use case. But when you go to DeFi, the decentralized financial space is a big time use cases there. And there are cryptos that have a different use case than XRP. Convex token in DeFi has a use case, right? The Curve token in DeFi has a use case. Curve token is not a bridge currency, but it has a use case. Decentralized finance has use cases, right? Real world use cases. And decentralized finance, that's a whole nother thing that they're trying to get under their pockets, right? 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 Right. And so the thing with cryptos is, and I say this a lot of people think I'm a BTC Maxis. I am not. What I am is I want to be in a position to make my own choices about my money. And for every technology challenge, there is a solution. The very same Bitcoin that uses all its energy could be put on the XRP ledger. It's the same Bitcoin. It can be put on the XRP ledger. Like, it doesn't have to use proof of work. It doesn't have to use Lightning Network. The most important thing, in my humble opinion, about Bitcoin is the monetary sound money principles that it brings. That is important, because what it does is it allows us to be buffered from the monetary policy of governments and central banks who can't seem to get it right. Like, they can't seem to figure this thing out. And it's a buffer against that monetary policy. That's why I like Bitcoin, because of the monetary policy that it brings. And I just believe for every technical flaw, for every technology flaw, there's a solution. I mean, I love what Spend the Bits is doing. Imagine being able to do Bitcoin on the XRP ledger. What is Flare Network going to do for Bitcoin? That's the big thing. So let me share a couple of these crypto gems with you guys before I go. I am excited about a couple of cryptos. One is Bent Finance. Really, really excited about Bent, because Bent leverages Convex and what the Convex ecosystem brought to the table. Convex leveraged Curve and what Curve brought to the table. Curve leveraged stable coins and what stable coins brought to the ecosystem. Use case for stable coins. We all know in and out of stables, it's a big deal. It is a big deal. Use case, stable coins. Curve built upon the use case of stable coins and built a platform that allowed you to leverage your stable coins and earn yield on your stable coins, right? So stable coins use case in and out of crypto. Curve leveraged that, built upon that, and built a platform around that use case. So Curve's use case became leveraging stablecoins and providing yield. Convex said, holy moly, that's an incredible thing. We're going to leverage what Curve has to offer. And they really built a beautiful platform that leveraged that. Now Bent is leveraging Convex's use case, right? And this is all done in DeFi. All done in freaking DeFi. So let me pull up Bent for you guys, Bent Finance. Do your homework on this one. Do your due diligence, but I'm really excited about it. Let's see, Bent Finance. Yep. Oh man, it's starting to go. 44 cents currently. And on the 7 day, it's up 50%. Yep. It's gone up 50% in 7 days, right? So 44 cents. It was obviously half of that not too long ago. The all-time high for this Bent token in December of 2021 was $15.98. It's currently trading at 44 cents. Do your homework on this one. I really, really like it. Let me see the markets that it's in. Sushi Swap. BKEX, I don't use that. Yeah, but do you find, again, if you're from, you guys know that I was on the Convex platform for a while, took advantage of the Curve and the CVX tokens that we owned, leveraged the platform from about 180% APR down to 40-something% before we exited. And the only reason why we exited, because we were small on there, right? I think we grew $1,100 to $5,500, right? I mean, somewhere around there, small, something like that, right? Very, very small. And Bent is looking to take advantage of Convex. And so at 44 cents, again, it's an opportunity to see something grow to $15.98. So that's Bent right here. Here it is here. You can stake it. You can convert your Convex and get these rewards, right? APR 78%. if you're familiar with convex, you'll be familiar with how to use it, but definitely do your homework on Bitfinance, learn more about the ecosystem. I am really, really pumped about that one. But the one that I'm really, really, really excited about is Integral and their decentralized, quote unquote, their DEX called Size. I'm really, really excited about this one because, again, there's a use case, and that the big challenge that it's solving right now is the quote unquote bigger players not really being able to participate on things like Uniswap or SushiSwap, because you get these, massive liquidity issues, and you start out paying something for $1, and before you know it's $1.30 while you're in the middle of the transaction, right? So the price impacts can be massively, massively massive. And Integral in the Size decentralized exchange called Size, SEZE, is solving for that. Again, this is on Ethereum. It's trading at 3 cents. The all-time high for this token was $3.45, and the market cap is $1 million. It was under $1 million 48 hours ago. So maybe 72 hours ago, it was under $1 million. Again, do your own homework on this one. Do your due diligence on it. Integral, the Size decentralized, built for large orders. They got something called timed orders, right? So eliminate price impact on any order size for any available token pair. Execute orders on chain with a time-weighted average price. Zero impermanent loss. Liquidity providers enjoy peace of mind with no impermanent loss is really, really cool. It says here, price impact is theft. Stop losing money when executing large orders in DeFi. And guess who's coming to this space in droves? Institutional money. On a $700 ETH swap for USDC, a trader can lose 2 ETH using a typical decentralized exchange or aggregator. With Integral's Size, is the name of the exchange, you can swap with TWAP and eliminate price impact. Time-weighted average price, and eliminate that impact, TWAP. Use case. A significant use case. The token and the platform essentially both just come out. Swap with TWAP. With time-weighted average price on Size, professional traders can virtually split up and execute large trades at a time-weighted average price. Why is time-weighted average price important? TWAP gives market liquidity time to recover, so large trades can be finalized with zero price impact with zero price impact and 100% efficiency. TWAP on Size finally unlocks the full potential for large order flows on Ethereum. Use case. And I think, my friends, it is a big, big, big time use case. The decentralized exchange, however, Size is not available to US investors. You can get the ITGR token, but utilizing this exchange is not available for US people, thanks to the SEC. Thanks to the SEC. So those are my two there, guys. Certainly do your homework, do your due diligence. ITGR for Integral and BENT, Bent Finance. Do your homework, do your due diligence. I'm excited about both of those. Significantly low market caps currently at the moment. And I believe, again, one's in DeFi, the other one is in Integral, both are solving real world use cases. So guys, thank you so much for hanging out here. I'm going to wrap it up. It's coming up on an hour. It's been so great to catch up with you guys. Mark Phillips, so great to catch up with your brother, and GTLT 416 Crypto. I appreciate you guys checking in. Keiston Sinclair, I miss you coming in, brother. I appreciate you being here. Arthur Robert, how are you, man? Appreciate you checking in today. Martin 958, it's good to hear from you, brother. Khalik Garnett, it's good to see you, man. Martin 958, I said that. Who did I miss? Brian Keegan, it's great to see you checking in, bro. Hope you're well. I think we connected on the phone one time, didn't we, bro? Johnny K, good to see you. Colin Hughes, appreciate you checking in, my guy. I really, really do appreciate you checking in for sure. It's been a really, really great and a cool hangout, guys. Continue to hodl strong. Without question, it is important to be able to weather these freaking storm that is taking place for sure. All right, guys, look, I'm going to end this video like I do all my videos and remind you guys of this, that old money doesn't want you to win. But that's okay, though, because you and I are already winning. Have a great rest of the day, guys. I'll talk to you soon. See ya. Bye.